Hi, welcome to the game plan. I'm Rico.
I'm Lindsay.
Today we're going to be doing our top 5 games that need a little more plays.
Yeah, we've played them at least 3 times.
Is that what it
or
is?
less than 3 times. 3 times or less. We've played them 3 times or less. And we want to play them more.
Yeah.
They struck a nerve, that's not the right word.
Chord?
They struck a chord
Struck
with
a
us,
chord,
yes. And we would like to get them back on the table. We don't necessarily own them, but we would like to play them again.
That's true.
Okay,
Actually,
you go first.
Do I own any? I might own some.
We own...
I own 3.
2 of mine.
I own 3 of them.
Okay.
This is, for me, I like to have played a game several times before I really give it a good rating. So I obviously have my first impressions, but I want to play it enough times that I can be sure this is a game that I feel sits in, this rating, or I enjoy it this much. And these for me are the games that I haven't played enough to be able to solidify where they are, but I really like them, and I probably will play them anytime I can, and they will soon get to that list.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of what it is for me.
Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to start, or do you want me
You
to
go
start?
first.
All right. So my number 5 is Concordia.
Oh, cool.
Um,
It's a good one.
I have 2 reasons. The first one is just so good,
That's a good reason.
right?
Yeah.
Concordia is fantastically simple for what it gives you. The idea of getting all those cards in your hand and choosing when to play those particular types of, I don't know what you'd call them exactly, but
They're not characters, are they?
no, well, kind of ish.
Okay.
But anyway, each card has
Like a roll.
kind of a role, right? And then when you play it, that role gives you a certain buff for that turn. And you can draft into more of them. You can purchase from the market more of them, so your hand can grow. And there are options to kind of reset, because once you've played it, it's out of your hand, but you can reset your hand. And the timing of when you play your role versus what the opponents are playing and that kind of stuff is just really fun. And it's relatively simple, like conceptually, to understand it. I think there's probably a lot of layers of depth to become very good at the game. But that's one of the reasons I think it's such a masterpiece, is it's very easy to learn, but it offers just a lot of depth.
I feel like that makes a really good game. Like when it doesn't take 6 hours to learn it, but it may take 6 plays to get a good understanding of a good strategy.
Yeah. And giving you a lot of different strategies to explore along the way is also a plus.
Yes.
So yeah, my number 5, Concordia.
My number 5 is Dice Hospital.
Good choice.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked trying to keep people alive. I don't remember if I lost anybody, but it's possible that I did.
I honestly don't recall it being that difficult to keep people alive. I mean, it just took a lot of focus.
Right. But if you had a bunch of different people, like different colors, and if you had a big disparity between the two, it's hard to manage both of them. So I just liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you can get different areas in your hospital, and you can get different specialists depending on what you need, looking at your dice for that round. So I just liked it.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was cute. We had the buffed out version. It had huge ambulances that you're taking your guys around. All it does is you set 3 dice in the ambulance, but they had these big ambulance that it was really fun. I liked the look of it. I liked the playtime was good. Didn't overstay its welcome. I liked it a lot.
Good choice.
So my number 5 is Dice Hospital.
I approve. I think that would definitely go into one of my. It definitely would go into my top 100 once I played it enough.
Yeah.
So good call.
Okay.
My number 4. This one surprised me because I had thought that I had played it enough times that it wouldn't be on this list. But that's Coimbra.
I almost put Coimbra on my list.
Okay, so you noticed that too.
Yeah, I did.
I was like,
that's stupid.
What?
Because it's on their shelf back there. We can play it whenever.
And it's a great game. It's very fun, and there's no shortage of people who want to play it with us. So that's why I was like, how have I not played this already enough times?
It's just there's always that other game that we're playing that night. It's rough, man.
I know, the life of a gamer.
It's rough. Yeah.
Oh, be the woes. Coimbra is fantastic. There's a dice drafting. Those of you who may not be super into dice, don't worry. What happens is the dice are rolled, and then people will draft. The team, everybody playing will draft the die, and then what you get to do with them changes. And so, like, the value isn't necessarily the most important thing. Maybe the color is important, and what you're going to be doing with it. And you have the option of several phases through the game, so you have the option of purchasing more cards that are used later in phases in the game, or traveling around a map, or adjusting basically you're along a track that you're trying to get further and further up. Maybe like I don't know that they have I'm sure there's a name for them, but if you've played like Terra Mystica or Gaia Project, how you have to go up the religion or science tracks or whatever, similar concept to that. The cards that you use can be kind of combo-y-esque in the certain phases. They'll say, if during this phase, when you do this, you get this additional bonus maybe, or and then there's tracks along the bottom of visiting that you can gain points. So there's a lot of things that you can get a lot of points, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, and it's like one of those combo-ish style games where, I get to move along the track, which gives me this ability right now, which causes this to go up, which causes that threshold to be crossed, which gives me this additional thing so that I can buy this other thing right now instead of having to wait till the next turn. That kind of right? Like, if you time it out right, it plays really, really fun.
Yeah, and even if you don't get the exact dice that you wanted to get, there's always something that you can do. It's not like, I got a 1, so now I can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah. If he's putting it on his list and it has dice in it, then it's not a very luck-driven game, even though there's dice.
That is a true statement.
Okay. So my number 4 is Chocolate Factory.
Oh, okay.
I really like this game. We just got it.
Yeah.
I learned how to play it while Rico was out of town, and then I was able to treat him to someone teaching him a game for once, because he's usually the one teaching. Yeah. But it was really easy to learn. I'm really poor at reading directions and then being able to play a game. I learned by doing, but this one was really easy. The instructions were really good. I just watched a couple videos and knew how to play. But there's some depth to it, but it's also really pretty and cute and a fun theme, and we sometimes eat chocolate while we play it. We played it twice. I just really like the mechanics. I like the different ways that they kind of limit you in doing things, but then there's always something else that you can do with things. Like, there's a big market that you can only go to if that's where your employee works, but then there's a small market that you always have available to you. So I like how they've kind of broken it up that way. Yeah. And there's no like restrictions on, so what you do is you put a chocolate in your factory, and as it moves through the factory, it gets upgraded. But there's no like restrictions on how you upgrade it. Like, it can go from this to these 2 things to these 3 things, but then any of those things can be like turned into the next thing. It's not like you have to have one special chocolate to turn into this big chocolate at the end. It's just it's really I just really like how they've done everything.
They have an engine building mechanism where you literally have a factory of building up. You start with the cacao, and you build up from there into different refined chocolates. Mm-hmm. And as she was saying, it kind of branches, and you get to freely choose which of those you branch to, and the orders, both at your local corner shops and at the major shops, want combinations of pretty much everything. So you're really never sitting there thinking, well, I don't have an engine that's going to help. Right? Yeah. You can always get something.
It's not like you have to try and get this one big chocolate. It's fun to make smaller ones and then turn those in, and then make some more, and then make the big box chocolate, and then I just really like it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good one.
Okay.
Good call.
Thank you.
All right, so my number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say, yes I did. Tapestry.
Is number 3.
Is my number 3. So those of you who may know me know that I really liked Barrage as my best game of 2019. Mm-hmm. And I'm still holding to that. I really do like Barrage. I think it's fantastic. And when I first played Tapestry, I thought, with enough plays this year, I could see this one coming in as a competitor for best of 2019 for me. And I still believe that's the case. We've played it twice now. The second time, I definitely had a lot more understanding of where I wanted to do things, how things fit together. The first playthrough, while it wasn't
Wasn't bad.
But yeah, it wasn't difficult or anything. There wasn't quite an aha moment of like the strategy of what this game's trying to do. And now having seen and played with different civilizations, which those are completely what drive your strategy. Like, you get a different civilization, and the next time you play, it's going to be a totally different game, which is really cool. Like, there's so much variety in what they're doing. And one thing I really like is Stonemaier Games has a website that you can go in and place your civilization and scores for each game that you play, and they're going to keep track of that and cause handicaps for civilizations that they find may be overpowered. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I don't know how many people are logging their stuff. I haven't yet. But
I haven't either,
but
obviously.
I saw it this last time. I'm like, I'm gonna have to remember to do that. So I'm gonna go back through. I remember who everybody played, and I'll log that in. But I think that's really cool because, wow, there's a lot of different civilizations. There's a lot of potential.
There are
for various.
I'm surprised
variations.
at how many civilizations they put in for just the base game. It seems like they could have put in like half and then had half later as an expansion or like as an add-on or something.
Yeah, promos, versions. Yeah.
So I think it's cool that they did that.
Yeah. Stonemaier Games, I mean, people who know me, I love Jamie Stegmaier as my favorite designer, and I think it's not like he can do no wrong, but Stonemaier Games, I just believe that company, the way he runs that is just so well done. Like Tapestry, the quality of components that you get for the price point is really good. I would say the same thing for Scythe and Wingspan. Like, it always seems like he runs them at low margins because I think he relies on just the sheer amount of volume they're going to sell, because his stuff just sells. It's so good.
It is.
I really like, and Tapestry, I know a lot of people poo-poo on it because it's not really a Civilization game, or it is a Civilization. I mean, that's all opinion. I don't know much about Civilization games. I'm not a hardcore. I've never even played Through the Ages except for on the app. I don't know much about Civilization, so I can't really compare it. But just as a standalone game for what it's doing, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
So, okay, my number 3.
All right, my number 3, Concordia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did want to mention one more thing. We have not played with any of the expansions.
That's true.
And it's being said that you really need to. So there's a lot we haven't discovered about this game. So we really need to play it some more.
And I'm excited so in my defense of not owning this game and we both liking it so much, I tried to buy it, but it was out of print last time I tried to buy it.
True, yeah.
So
we've played it at conventions a couple times. And they've had the expansions in, but we played it so rarely that we need to do the base game again in order to like get our minds around it again in order to go on to the expansion. So we just haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So Concordia.
Well,
we've already covered that, so.
Yeah, and I approve of that choice. It's a good one. So my number 2 is probably not much of a surprise for you, is Gaia Project.
It's not a surprise.
Okay, yeah, it's the Gaia Project. Is it the Gaia? I think it's just Gaia Project. There's so much depth.
This isn't my favorite game, so that's probably why you haven't been able to play it much.
Yeah, that's exactly why I haven't been able to play it much. Just the sheer amount of depth in this game, the asynchronous, like this and I say Terra Mystica they're just so well known for being all about the asynchronous. They're more asynchronous than any game I've played, and how that, again, similar to Tapestry, how you play your civilization will dictate entirely everything about the strategy. So every time you play the new civilization, it's totally different, and even more so than in Tapestry. Like the depth of this game is way more than the average. I think that's where the reason you probably don't like it so much is it's too complex.
The reason I don't like it is because it's so hard to get resources. So I can't ever do anything.
Yeah, it's very unforgiving if you're not optimizing well.
It frustrates me, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to think ahead a lot and do the right thing all the time. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Pizza, French fry.
When you're supposed to pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
But yeah, the async nature. There's so much to be discovered, and then I guess you don't have this experience, but when you do well in the game, it is so satisfying. Like
Oh,
when
it is.
everything just comes together exactly the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I bet it is.
It really
bet
is.
it's a good feeling.
She cannot empathize with me.
I don't know what it feels like. Okay.
That's my number 2, Gaia
Okay,
Project.
Gaia Project. Okay. My number 2, my phone went to sleep. Pardon me.
I know Smartphone Inc. Is that what you meant?
No. My number 2 is Istanbul.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah, we have this game, but we haven't played our copy of it.
We have not yet played our copy of it, but we have played it twice.
We played it twice. We played with the coffee expansion.
Yeah, Mocha and Bashish and Letters and something. Yeah.
something. I like the coffee one better.
I do.
Which is the one we own, so that's good.
That's kind of nice that it worked out that way.
Yeah, I really like this game. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. You're the first 1 to 5 rubies wins, and there's a bunch of different ways to get rubies, and you just gotta try and not even do it the quickest, but do it most efficiently so that you get them in the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Istanbul, it's good stuff.
It's like so when I first played it, when you first play a new game, it may settle in to be easier than you thought it was the first time you played it, right? So like after your 5th play, you might be like, oh yeah, this is an easy game, but it was actually maybe not an easy game when you first introduced to it. And when I was first introduced to Istanbul, I didn't think it was like a complicated game, but I was like, okay, yeah, this is like a solid middleweight Euro, good decisions. It's well balanced the way that all the so it's a Mancala style movement mechanism that's going on, and the way that works and all that it was really well done. And then I played it my second time, and I'm like, wow, this is not. Let me rewind just a sec. We played Yokohama.
Yes.
After we played Istanbul for our first time, and it's very similar. If you've played one, they're very similar to the other. They have a lot of the same feel, and I was like, oh, this feels a lot like Istanbul, which we own, so I didn't need to seek out Yokohama. I enjoyed Yokohama. It was a fun game, but Istanbul felt to me like, yeah, that'll work. And then I played Istanbul again after I had played Yokohama, and I was like, whoa, Istanbul is a light medium game.
It's lighter than Yokohama.
Yeah, it really is a simple one. I think it's a great introductory game for people who are interested in maybe trying their hand at Euro games. It offers a lot of puzzles, but not dry trade in the Mediterranean too much. I mean, you're in the Middle East trading, but it's I don't know, the way that you're moving around the town and the people you're interacting with and stuff. I think it gives a little bit of a flavor there.
Yeah, and I almost put Yokohama on my list, but I traded it for Istanbul because we own Istanbul, and I really want to get it back on the table.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so that was my number 2 is Istanbul.
Okay, and I think my number 1 is Food Chain Magnate. Food Chain Magnate is a fantastic game that is, you are trying to run a fast food-esque type of empire or store. Like you're trying to sell food and beverage to the people in the town nearby, and you're setting up your business structure so that you're hiring people within certain skill sets that allow you to do special actions during parts of the game. So as an example, you would start with the CEO, and you're the CEO, and then you hire people using recruiters, and then those recruiters can hire different types of the gurus and financial people that allow you, when you're setting prices, you can do this special thing, or when you're getting your food, you can do this special thing if you have certain types of cooks you've hired. And each turn, everybody simultaneously chooses their structure and puts it face down, and then they all reveal, and some of your people are on vacation that day. I mean, it's kind of more like simulating a cycle, yeah. And what other people are revealing will dictate how they're playing it out. And so your strategy and their strategy, it's tight. It's very, very tight, and I think it's probably among the most unforgiving games I've played, and I've unfortunately only played once. And I would love to play it again, but it didn't land so great with this one. So this one may not get my full 4 plays for several years. I'm a little concerned about that. Yeah. But as a caveat, Smartphone Inc. If anybody has been wanting to play Food Chain Magnate or have played it and didn't enjoy it because it was just too much, I really thought that Smartphone Inc. gave similar types of decisions. The way that you're trying to look ahead, the way you're puzzling out exactly what you want to do before you start the round.
I liked that one better.
I got a little bit of that same vibe. It's just at a very, very small, much smaller, more condensed complexity level, but it was a similar feel. So you may like it. If you like Food Chain Magnate, try that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So Food Chain Magnate, that's my number one.
Sorry. My number one is Heaven and Ale.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I really liked this game. We played it at a convention, and then we played it again the next day at the convention. Because the first time we played it, it's like, it's a conundrum. Is that
yeah, it's a, yeah.
So you're trying to do all these things, and you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to accomplish anything in this game in the amount of time that we have. But then Rico caught on pretty quickly that you're supposed to go for the bonus things and not really wait to do those things, because they're like off to, I don't remember exactly how it works, but it's like off to the side, and you do these bonus things first that give you big bonuses. And so you have to go after those pretty quickly in the game, when normally in games you do like your regular stuff and then you just think about those at the end. But no, you've got to go for those, and they give you really big boosts to where you can actually accomplish things. And it was just fantastic.
Yeah, to
you can
elaborate
explain
a little.
That much better than I can.
Yeah, or at all.
Be nice.
So what she's talking about is like in a game, say, that says you get to score 2 points for every wheat that you've collected.
Yeah, you wait till
you
get
would
a bunch
think,
of wheat.
oh, I'm just going to collect up wheat for the whole game, and then I'm going to cash in on that huge one on my my second to last turn.
Because you can only do that once.
Because you can only do it once. And what I discovered is that the game doesn't want you doing that. What it wants you doing is getting 1 or 2 wheat, collecting that bonus to give you a boost so that you can get to the next bonus a little bit quicker, to the next bonus a little bit quicker, and by the time you get towards the end of the game, it's not really an engine, but it almost feels like an engine.
Yeah,
because you've placed out enough stuff.
Track that you have to get pretty far along, and you're like, I can't get there.
Yeah.
But then those bonuses,
that they help push you over those thresholds, and I kind of clicked for me about halfway through the first game. It was self-taught, and we were playing with another guy who
he had never played.
None of us had ever played, and I got about halfway through the game-ish, and I was like, I see that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I played it out for a couple turns to make sure that was really what's going on, and then I shared it with these guys. And
thankfully, or he would have just destroyed us. Yeah.
And then the next game, we kind of employed that strategy from the beginning, and it sung.
Such a good game. Yeah.
And so this same con, we were introduced to Wingspan, which we also played twice at the same con. So we played Heaven and Ale twice and Wingspan twice. And to me, Heaven and Ale walked away with Game of the Con. It was just a fantastic game. Yeah. Loved it.
Wingspan's a little too lucky, but I really like the birds.
It's very pretty, and the theme is just awesome.
But to play the game, it's just a little too luck-driven.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. But Heaven and Ale,
I got
awesome.
that feeling. The first time we played Wingspan, I was like, I was really excited about it. And the second time, I was like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm not getting the right cards. So yeah, I felt it in the second game as well.
So if you played Wingspan and think that it's fantastic, maybe you should try Heaven and Ale, and you'll get blown away.
Yeah. So that was our top 5 games we've played 3 times or less. If you have any that you would like to share with us, leave us a comment.
3 times or less, and would like to play more.
Yes.
Because I've played a lot of games 3 times or less.
That's a big component of this game. Yeah, you want to play more. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what games you're really looking forward to playing more. I'd be interested to find out.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Yep.